Namaste, welcome back. This is a video about meditation. So, what is meditation? Why should you do it, or why am I doing it? What is it? So, let's get into this subject. Since I made a lot of videos about, I speak about this samadhi and stuff in every video almost because it's so amazing. Thing happened to me. It's like once in many lifetimes kind of deal. So, but I want to highlight what meditation does to you if you're looking to meditate, or if you just began meditating, or if you're a meditator for like 1 year or like 6 months. Depends upon how frequent you did and what's gonna happen if we continue doing it. So many meditators, when we begin, it's going to be very tough because we don't know how to do it. Like, we don't plan, we never been taught in our childhood to do meditation. So when we begin, it's the first time we are taking control of our mind. It's like it was the leader, it was the master so far till the time you began meditation. When you were, for the very first time you started meditating, that is the time you started taking control of the mind. Till then it was the master, and it'll resist pretty hard. It's like it's going to give you a really tough time because it wants to stay the master. That's how we trained it. Now we're trying to reverse it. Now it's not gonna give up that easy. It's gonna be a battle for sure between us and the mind, because we don't even know where we are when we meditate. We are thinking that we are meditating, but we are not even there. This is for the I'm talking to people who are into who are into meditation since a year or 2 years or something like that. For some people, probably 5 years too. This is the targeted audience, or this is the people I'm making this video for, because initial days it is really important what it does to us, to know what it really does to us, because there are many reasons to quit when we begin, because it's so hard. And first of all, we go to meditation to solve problems in life, most people. So there are always exceptions. In all the videos I made, there are many exceptions for many people. Of course, not everyone is same. So, but I'm speaking to the major percentage of people, because I was one of them. So when we begin, it's like we're trying to do it. First of all, we go towards meditation only we have problems. If our life is hard. This is one sect of people, and the other sect is to improve themselves to earn more money. I belong here. I started from the first, but I belong in the way where I'm like, all right, let's just see. I want to handle my emotions proper. I want to handle. There are certain things I do which I need to set myself aside, my emotional body aside, for me to function properly. And I'm an emotional person, so. These are the goals I had before I began meditation in like a few years ago. So, but I had no idea what meditation really is at the time. I have no idea. I thought that, you know what, I could handle my life a little better. That's just a side effect of meditation. So, what it really does is it's gonna unburden you from the past. When I say unburden from the past, it's everything, every memory you have which is holding on you, which is weighing on you. All the bad memories and also the good memories. The very beginning of how you taught yourself about things, about honesty, about love, about creativity, about earning money, about anything, it'll take you there. It'll take you to that part of you when you began teaching yourself from a very young age, from an early age. But that's going to come in a later period. But that's what's happening when we start meditation. That is what's happening. It's a tool of unburdening yourself from all the pile you collected onto yourself, and all that pile became a personality. So meditation is removing the personality. Meditation is making yourself as ordinary as possible. This is what happens with meditation. The more you meditate, the more ordinary you become. Because to see the extraordinary in things, in nature, you need to stay in the zone of ordinary. Ordinary in the sense, your ego has to dissolve. The more gap you get from you to your ego, the more beauty in life you can see, the better you'll function, and your joy is more vibrant, and all that comes out after you cross the section of ego and stuff. Meditation will slowly deprogram that. Slowly deprogram all the personalities you built up for yourself, which are totally fake, or even though we don't accept it, they are fake, but they are fake. We make fake faces for people, like, Facebook is totally of that side. Which is like, it's like selling ourselves for likes and loves and whatever in Facebook. That's a whole different game. I want to like make a good video on it. So, and we put all these personalities so that people might appreciate us, like we are expecting people to approve us or appreciate us. So that our functioning in life would be a little easier, because many people are just like, going with it, like, you're a good guy, you're a great guy, whatever, or a good girl or a good woman. So for that, we do all these things without even knowing. We're so habituated, or subconsciously so programmed, it is so normal. We think that's the reality, but that is not the reality. Meditation will remove all those things. It'll show you what you did at the time, but when that is happening, it is not fun, because it's whatever you think you are, it's peeling you. It's peeling your layers off, and that's not going to be fun. This is the beginning of it. This is where all the people want to quit, because they don't want that feeling. They think that I'm already at a stage of normality, or like my life is normal, I'm happy with where I'm at right now. I needed to function a little better, but meditation is making me feel negative or bad or like sad or like all these negative emotions. So they don't pass that zone. We generally don't like to go to that zone, because we avoid that. That's all. For avoiding to going down into our own dark side, we invented so many things. See, from telephone to radio to TV to movies in the theater, then it's like internet, then it's going on and on to the Mars. Like, that hole inside us, that aloneness inside us, we are not trying to face it, and meditation is trying. It will push you there to face it. It's a tool which will take you there, and also it'll give you a strength to handle it, strength to respond to it, not just react to that situation. So these are two separate things: responding and reacting. So meditation initially does this thing. It begins to unburden yourself from your past. Past consists of many things. It has repressed feelings, it has repressed emotions, it has your good memories, it has your bad memories, it has the very pattern of your mind, the way it judges who you are, the way your own mind is judging you negatively constantly. You do an action, you judge yourself negatively. Oh, I should have done this way, it's not this way. You're constantly giving shit to yourself. That's what the mind does. So because we were being judged by our parents and in school and all that, that is a program which we are continuing still. Even we grew up and like doing jobs and like, whatever the situation and the professional jobs you're doing in your life, and the habit of someone else judging us negative in our early childhood, it is still in our mind. It is the very basis of how we are functioning, because The way you judge yourself negatively is the way your mom and dad judge you. That's directly proportional to it. It's gonna, that's how you correct yourself too. When you're disciplining yourself for an action you did, and in your mind you're talking to yourself and you're disciplining yourself, that's the exact way your parents did that. This is a program. Meditation will unburden from that hold of that negativity of all the people in your life had on you, especially if you have a tough childhood or it's not filled with love, your family is not so loving and happy, or giving you good time or showing you good time and taking care of you. I was not in a loving family, so my parents think that they are loving to me, but that is not how it is. That's not the reality. They unburden their own pain of their own failed marriage onto us children. So this is what happened in my life. That's all the situation for many people, not just me. They are unhappy and they project that onto their children. That's the only way, because the children can't fight with them. So they have this command and emotional holding and things on their children. So this is the pattern of us growing with our families and stuff, and the way they judge us, the way they disciplined us, that's the program we're still repeating. And meditation will show you that. It'll happen. Like, it's not a one day deal. It might happen after 2 years or 3 years, or maybe in the first 6 months. We don't know that. We don't know when you're gonna get to this point of understanding that, okay, this is what my entire mind is made of. This is not me, not at all. That separation of you and your mind will clear a lot of clutter. For the very first time, if it happens to you, like when you and your mind has a gap, for that very first time, even though it's like 1 minute or a moment, you'll feel so free. It'll relieve you from a lot of tensions and a lot of fears, which you have no idea about. In the sense, they are in the pile somewhere in the background since you took birth. Even though that's like a tiny amount of time you felt the split between you and your mind as two separate things, that's when you got the first experience, that experientially you just understood that you are not your mind. Till this happens, we think that I'm not my mind, I'm not my body, but that's not. You're just repeating it. You're just telling yourself to your mind that this is, you know it, but you didn't have an experience to understand it. Once that happens, once that small tiny gap happens, it'll relieve you from so much trash in your mind. This is how you get into meditation. This is how you'll begin your interest in meditation. Till this happens, meditation will be harder. Even after that, it'll be more harder, but at least you have something to look towards. Like it's like you saw your own light for that 1 second. You saw your own strength, that you can create your reality of whatever you want in your life. That's the spark you've seen, that you have the strength. This is the first moment. When you get into this, even for like a minute, then you will be hooked to meditation. There is no denying that. You cannot deny this. Once you've seen it, then you'll start, like, you'll take your gaps. There'll be ups and downs of breaks. Like maybe they might not be continuity. Like you might do good meditations for like a month or like continuously for a week, and after that you'll take a break and not do it for a couple of months, and like wander, whatever, get busy in disturbing yourself with meditation, like watching movies or whatever. You'll do it, but that experience will bring you back, because the more you fool yourself with all these distractions you have, the stronger the meditation gets too, because you'll understand that this only in this space of meditation you are with yourself. So this is very precious. This is super precious. Like meditation, once you get the taste of it, you can't quit it. There will be breaks, like you'll take the breaks for sure, because you're not that, you need to have so much intensity in yourself to continue. the seeking, continue meditating for a long time, and in like in regular intervals. So in the work we do and all that, sometimes it might not happen. So, but anyways, this is how it'll begin. All the feelings you had from your childhood, especially repressed feelings, especially since this, I want to make this for like if you're born in India and raised in India, the number one problem I would say, I can't believe this, but it's like from a land where Tantra was born and Kama Sutra was born, probably India is the most sexually repressed country. We're not allowed to speak about it. It is so taboo kind of deal. Like even in like in schooling, we don't have much education about the other sex, and like it's just not there. We're not there yet. It's just beginning. I would encourage new generation to at least pursue and like learn more about a male body if you're a male, and also a female body if you're a female, and like vice versa. Learn about each other, because the new generation has to change this. It's on them, because the old generation would not change. They have to go. They have to pass. That's all. It's like their thing is done, because they had their children, they have their families, and they are their age of like 50s and 60s. There's nothing much they can do now. And I like to encourage young people, because they have the responsibility on themselves, how they want to lead themselves into the future, their vision of themselves, and Tantra and Kama Sutra. There's so many things. Especially Tantra is like it's made for like understanding each other's bodies and minds and consciousness, and like it'll take you so deep. It's like it's something else. So it's the deeper understanding of masculine and feminine energies and the bodies, and like it can take you to a state of samadhi if two people are more intimate. I can't believe this is the culture India was long before. This is at the time when Kama Sutra was written. There was freedom of expression and encouragement at the time, but India, like many countries rule India, and like the whole thing is changed, and it's like they had to hide their women to create some security and stuff from other people who are coming and like hurting them. So that culture put the woman down, limited them into their own homes, and hid them. But now it's not there, but still the program is there. It's slowly coming out. It's trying to coming out. So working on you when you're starting meditation, it'll happen that you will be more sexual. The more there'll be more sexual thoughts coming up. The more you meditate, the more it'll come. It'll dig from inside all that repression, because we are not allowed to express. And since it's like so repressed culture in India, and the more you meditate, the more it'll dig in. It'll just dig out. It's just like taking it out, all the things you push down. It's trying to get it to the surface so that you can deal with it, and try not to react to that, because it's like that's where the energy, that's where the Kundalini lies. When it's beginning to rise, when you start to meditate, it'll touch those sex centers and all that, Mooladhara and like Swadhisthana, all this. It'll like touch all these dimensions when the energy is awakening, especially Mooladhara and like Swadhisthana, where the genital section. So it will bring all those up, all the things we've been repressed, which we don't even remember, because the way we had to hide things, especially when we were growing up. And when our hormones started working and we can't express that to parents, there's no fucking way. At least in my generation, there's no way. There's no way that I could talk to my dad about this or mom about this. There's no fucking way. They're not even educated. So it's like the idea of what, having two children in India, it's a really old idea. We are still following it, and we over populated the shit out of this country. Like we've populated it so much, like so much, and we're still following the 2 children rule, even though we are a billion people. We need to change this. It's like, we are not, the resources is not there. Like, there's so many people. There are 19 million children, as I remember. I don't know the exact number, who are homeless in India. There's so many reasons for this. So meditation will bring not only the sexual side, all the things. If you suppress your food habits, if you suppress there's so many things we suppress to control ourselves, to give ourselves good time or be fit, or like if you're into health situation, or if you're fat and trying to lose weight and whatnot. So if you're into that, you'll suppress the food part. You want to eat that, but you suppress it. So suppression, it's like you're totally putting it down. You're pressurizing the entire thing. The more you think that you're controlling yourself and doing better, but that's not how it works. All those things, like, the more you compress the weight, and it, like, all the time, it's you pushing it down and down and down. It'll become so compressed, then once it'll blow out of control. That's when we lose it. So because we are creating it, we are creating this imbalance of suppression. So there is no freedom of expression for sexuality in India. So we hide those things when we are growing up, and those things are coming out right now. Especially with meditation, it'll come out. This is how it's going to happen. But in meditation, you're not supposed to react to everything. It'll come out. You just sit down and watch the thoughts, not indulge in it. You bring your attention back to your breathing again whenever you're trying to indulge. It's going to happen thousands of times. Your mind will take you to a ride and you'll come back again. Failure is good, because that's how we are beginning. This is the first time you're attempting to control your mind, and you're unburdening yourself from the entire generation of suppression and, like, repression from your parents, and from culture, from religion, from races, from so many things, depending upon which caste and creed and what you are into, in which family you're born into, and all those rules are pushed onto us. So with meditation, it'll open all that up. You're opening the door, and and those are piled up. Those are piled up since long time. When that door opens, this is where all the people quit. They were like, no, I don't think I want to do meditation, or just like, I had a good time, but I don't think it's my type, or like, you say all these things to you and just quit. So that's what we do in general. So this is how it'll begin. You are just opening the door of things which you don't want to deal with, which you don't know how to deal with. But when you open this, when you understand that meditation is the tool to unburden from all those things, once you start unburdening all these things, there will be a point you'll feel lighter. The more you do it, the more lighter you become, the more fearless you become in life. So this will happen, but it'll take time. Be patient with it. Meditation is a game of patience. It's not something which you do, like, to lose weight. It is not something it's not something like, you can do for like 2 months and 3 months and expect results. When you're entering meditation, you're entering to a deeper zone of yourself, deeper zone of your own divinity. It is not a tool to make yourself better and function better. That's just the side effect of it. But you are trying to go to your own divine nature to find out your own creation and experience it. So this will take you to a point where you start seeing the patterns of your mind. When this happens, the beauty begins in meditation. It's like, it'll be like aha moments, all of them. Like when you start beginning to see the patterns, like, okay, this is what happened, probably this is what created my pattern of my addiction to anything. The very way the behavior of addiction in the mind begins with any kind of addiction. That may be TV, movies, whatever, alcohol, excess food, or whatnot. So meditation will take you there to that spot and make you deal with it. And the more you deal with it, the more you sit down with it. It's initially it'll be very tough. Many people might not even go to this stage of meditation because very beginning itself it's too shocking to sit down with themselves in aloneness, because they're very distracted. They're super distracted. Their mind is very agitated and very distracted with many things, with movies, with people, with places. They constantly do things. They never settle, because once you settle, once you have the gap with yourself and the time with yourself, that's where they get the shock of, like, they don't like that feeling. They want company of people constantly. They can't just stay with themselves, because it's almost like madness if you stay with yourself. So there are a lot of people who are in this section who used to be my friends. I tried to help them, and like I know how they are, because they can't stay still at all. Their mind is constantly running. They can't stay still for like 30 minutes, just not do anything with me. No talking, nothing. Just sit down. Sit down with me, no talking. Just sit down. That's all. In each other's presence, but they can't do it. it's like, and for them, they are very jovial people. They're like bubbly people. They just want to like social butterflies and stuff. They just want to like talk to people, and like, they're good organizers, and like they organize, and they're good in hosting, because they do that because they are constantly talking to people all the time, like going around and all that. So but stillness, unless you're comfortable in your own stillness, by yourself, in your aloneness, till then you don't know your strength. It's going to be hard. Once the more gap we have with ourselves going inside, the harder it'll become when we start working on ourselves. But there's always hope. It's not going to work, or we're not going to feel it, but that's just the initial part itself will be tough, because we compress that whole thing for a long time, depending upon your life situations and how tough they were, or whatever the situations you're into. So that depends on all that. So this is what I realized in my meditation when I started working on it. It's like I did not like it initially. It's like, okay, am I just sitting down and watching the breathing, and like, my mind was giving all the stupid reasons like not to deal. It's so amazing to see how many reasons your mind will come up for you not to meditate. You watch this, like learn sometime, like, dig into your mind and see. You don't even have to dig into your mind. Just like, you just want to meditate right now. Just tell your mind to meditate right now. It's going to give you so many reasons. The moment you sit in like few minutes to like whatever the time of your meditation is, it's going to create so many reasons for you to not to meditate. Let's just say you meditated today for 30 minutes, and tomorrow, after like at the same time or something, you decided to meditate in the morning, that you want to meditate in the evening. Do this thing. You decided in the morning that you will meditate today evening. You see how many reasons your mind will give for you to not to meditate, because that's how it's like it is taking control of you, and you're trying to take control of your mind for the very first time. We're trying to teach how to concentrate. So when we are focusing on our breath, this is what we're doing. When you're focusing on our breath, we are trying to teach our mind to be single pointed. This is how the concentration builds. The more we do it, the more we are able to focus our mind's entire energy into single pointedness, whatever the point is, your breath, or it might be a Sri Yantra which you are like meditating on, whatever your thing is, just a wall with a dot, or whatever the thing you're using, the point of focus. When you pull all that towards that single point and able to maintain it, then the concentration will begin. This is what dhyana means. Meditation is not just a fancy term, like the word meditation in English can't explain, because there's just so many things which goes into meditation. It's just not one thing. So when we were able to focus onto that single pointed, whatever the object of your choice is, that's when we're trying to pull all its energy to that point. When we teach these things, there were thousands of times we will fail to get to the point where at least you'll have like 5 minutes of no thoughts, and just like there will be thoughts, but it's like your entire mind's focus is right there on your breathing. 5 minutes of no gap, or your entire focus is there, or at least 1 minute. This will take time. Enjoy your failures. Really do enjoy your failures, because it's not a failure. It's an attempt. You're just attempting. The more you the more you try, it's like you're learning something really amazing. Will change your life. And take your time. Take your time with it. Don't just decide that it's not going to work for you since you're just beginning or like an intermediate meditator, because there will be failures. That is how it is done. It's the more you're able to focus it on that single pointedness. Okay, I wanna describe how this will affect your life once you started doing it. Able to like focus your mind's entire energy onto single point. You're teaching concentration. So when this happens, how that will reflect onto your life? It's like, for every situation, your mind is telling you that in a day we will have thousands of thoughts which doesn't have any roots. They're not sequential. Thoughts are never sequential. You'll think something now, it's like you'll think something else. Those thoughts it just comes up. They come up. But the moment we react to it, we got into that thought. That thought might be a pleasureful thought, or a painful thought, or like an intellectual thought, or whatever the thought is. It piqued your it pulled you, and it piqued your interest, and you like got into that. The time we get into that is so minute. It is so minute how fast we get angry, how fast we get sad, or all these high ups and downs of emotions. If our awareness is not higher, if your concentration is not higher, we just can't. We don't even know that how soon the mind gave a thought and how fast we reacted to that thought and just got into that. So with meditation, your awareness will grow when we focus your entire mind on a single point. When that concentration happens, your awareness will grow, and you will focus on what you're doing at the time than what your mind is telling you. Your mind might like give you thoughts continuously, like the thoughts are just populating one by one. Then the moment let's just say you're working on something and your thoughts are continuously going. So you just don't listen to all that chatter all the time. Your focus will improve on what you're doing. The chatter will still go. You're approving it. You're just there. You're just watching it. Like your life will become meditative like this slowly. One by one, day by day, with all the failures you had. Those are the blocks. Those are the building blocks. You're just making a strong base for yourself, because you need to see those failures. You can't expect to go down into deeper states of meditation just like that. You need to build it. The base has to be stronger, because once you've seen all these things, there is no turning back. Once you've seen it, you can't act like you didn't see it. It's like this. You take chili powder and put it in your eye, it's gonna burn. You can't act like now you don't know it, since you already know it. So those blocks of failures will be so strongly supporting you in the future. So it's like, this is one of the thing meditation does. The more you're training your mind, it'll apply to all aspects of your life. The reaction time, the way you're reacting to things will go down. The responding will begin. Responding is from your awareness and from your intelligence. So when you respond to things rather than reacting, you are in a place of your center. You are balanced at the time when you're making the response rather than reacting to that. So this will happen with meditation. You slowly, like, your life will begin being in meditation all the time. The moment you wake up, it's like your awareness is there, and it's like you are living in meditation, not just practicing meditation. It will become slowly, and the deeper parts of meditation needs dedication, and it needs continuity. It needs it's like you can't break it after some time. It's like you have to go deeper, because at least to a certain level for a couple of years. After that, we can go wherever you can maintain that deepness. But before we enter that deeper zones, there will be many failures, and we need to face that. We need to get it out. Once we are established in a certain level, whatever the surroundings you are in doesn't matter. You already reached a point, and you can maintain yourself there. But that's kind of like you. That needs, like, for you to go to an ashram, or like be in your aloneness, or like you have a place, or like a teacher or something. That needs that attention and that dedication at the time, which I couldn't do. As of now, I'm taking a break, like I've said in my other video, because for going deeper, it'll change my entire thing. It's like it'll put me in this zone of grace where nothing is important to me at the time. Only my meditation and my sadhana becomes more important at the time. All other things I need to take care of, like financial stuff and all that, I just don't care. I really didn't care. So I was into trading, and when I was going through my vipassana, after I had my state of my samadhi experience, or the glimpse of samadhi I remained in silence for 4 months and didn't turn on my computer for a long time. So it's like at that time I didn't touch the things which I needed to sell. So that put me in a tight zone right now in life. It's the money I should have earned at the time, the numbers are crazy. But what I've experienced will never make me regret, even though I put myself in a tough spot financially because I didn't sell, or like I didn't take care of that part. That might happen in deeper meditation, because really those things doesn't matter. It's like every problem I had became smaller, and I'm very grateful for what I've experienced, because it's not just like, it's once in many lifetimes it happens. It's just not something like we just go and something we experience it and it's like it happened. No. This is I might have did a lot of work in my past lives or whatever to get me there without even like, me thinking that I'm able to go there. That's a good spot. That's a good thing too, because it's like the more you know it, the more your mind know, the more confusing it'll get. It'll confuse the whole thing. So, but that part, when we go into these kinds of deeper states of meditation, it'll change. It'll move and change everything we think what life is. It'll disturb the whole thing. In a way, in a good way, in a very wisdom kind of way, but that needs continuity. Once we've seen those things, we can't get out of it. This is one part I wanna like stress on, because also once we've seen it, nothing is bigger than that. There's no way that we can say that something is bigger than this experience. There's no way. It stands out. It distinctly stands out, and just stays there with its light and strength, and it's the most subtlest and the most powerful experience I ever had. It's in balance. It's in extreme balance, because it is the most powerful but very, very, very subtle. It's so subtle, like I can't even describe how subtle it is. It's microscopic almost. It's that kind of, it's so balanced. It's like that's how the source of creation is. Everything is in balance. It's like the more strength it has, the extreme balance it will have. So And for these stages, if you are into that stage, if you are into this kind of zone, then I would advise you to stop. Like if you want to function in a job and all that, like you might not want to go deeper because it'll take you somewhere where you need to continue that. But now I've seen it. I don't know how many months or years I'll take my gap, or I'll take my distance from going deeper, because I kind of get out when I begin to go deeper. Like I know that it's like I feel this, that if I continue for like 1 hour more, I could get a little deeper. That's the place I'll stop. That's the place I'm coming out, because I don't want to go deeper at this point in time, because I want to settle the finances or take care of my stuff for a little bit, like in a year or something. Maybe do some traveling. Next 2 years I want to travel a little bit, like see around European countries and all that, or maybe Prague, or I have some places in my mind like Netherlands and stuff. So I might go and see, visit some places, and then this is what I'm thinking right now, this is what I wanted to do. Then go deeper after like setting my financial independence, or not depending on anyone, living minimally and all that. And then there'll be a point I'll understand that I can go deeper. Then I'll just let everything go and put my entire focus on it. Because yoga, if you see I suddenly remember this thing, like me living in a corporate life, and like leading a corporate life, and like working in IT and stuff, and reading Patanjali Yoga Sutras is like mind blowing to me. The transition is so crazy. It's like unbelievable. Me watching Interstellar, Christopher Nolan movies and all that kind of stuff, coming to Patanjali and all these enlightened masters and the work they did, and it is just, it's that whole thing is like it turned my life upside down. So in a way we are upside down. When we are in the womb, we are upside down in like lotus posture inside the womb. Once we come out, we are upside down, and the whole thing is upside down too. In Shiva Sutras, I think the first sutra is this thing that they say, once you come out of the womb, and your problems will begin, your illusion will begin once we come out of the womb. When we are in the womb, we are one with the universe. So yeah, this is like awesome. Meditation does so many things. And once I can, once we get into these things, and once it'll give you a taste of what meditation really is, no matter how many tricks your mind will play, it'll still be there. At some point you have to come back there again. It's like, but all it takes is for you to have that glimpse, that taste of what meditation really is. This is a very deeper subject. Meditation is something, it shows you who you really are and what you're really made of, the strength you have inside, and equally, everyone is so equal in this, and it'll show you how ordinary you are, because the more ego dissolves in your mind, the more ordinary you will become. If Lao Tzu passes around you, you can't even figure out that he's Lao Tzu. He's so ordinary. It's like if you take an enlightened master, any master who you don't know that person is enlightened, you've never heard of. He might walk past you, but you will not even identify. They are so simple. If you see Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he has so much innocence in his pictures. He's dripping innocence. It's the way he smiles and the way he sits, and this halo around him in that innocence. You will pass him, you'll think that he's not. So all the masters are like that. Once you get into meditation, it's like, not all the masters, but many, they have their simplicity, they have their ordinariness. Because once your ego is moved, all the things you think who you are will dissolve. with the level of ego it is dissolving, the strength of meditation you have and the intensity you have, it'll slowly dissolve the ego, it'll come down, and you'll become more ordinary and more ordinary and more ordinary. And the more ordinary you become, that's when you see how extraordinary life is. The beauty will open. Experiencing a flower changed my entire life. It's the whole outlook of myself changed. How I'm looking things, it's like my eyes just open when I experience. I see a flower, but I never experienced one. The flower is always there, but I was not there to experience it. So, what many people I know in my life, and many people I observe, including myself, we all have everything, but we don't have ourselves. Really don't have ourselves. I truly mean this thing, because we think we are taking care of ourselves, but we have no connection with ourselves. First of all, once you sit down in your aloneness, take time and shut down everything, get out of the circumference you are in the sense, the surroundings you are in, the influences of the surroundings you have, your mom, your dad, your friends, your school, your college, your job, your whatever, all that, your movies, your TV, phones, and Facebooks, and all these distractions, all of it. You need to take time and get out of there for you to know who you really are. Unless then, you didn't even touch the surface of your own strength, your own beauty. You didn't even see it. You're not even there yet because you're avoiding it. Once you take time, once you get down there, initially it will be hard. It's not an easy job. It is unburdening the repressions are not easy. It's like you're opening the floodgate. So it'll take multiple times to work on yourself and going into deep meditations and stuff like that. Like not only deep meditation, just observing yourself. Deep meditations are the next part, but slowly beginning to take time for yourself and go somewhere from all these disturbances you had and all the influences of people who have on you, the emotional grip they have on you, all the grips they have on you. You need to get out of this for a little bit. If you have the chance and like time and the money and whatever you're capable of doing it, I highly advise you do this, because it'll show you your own true strength. It'll show you how much control people have on you, which you don't even know that right now. The way you laugh, the way you say, the way you're saying you like it, the way you say you're not liking it, those are all not yours. This is just a projection of the entire society. We captured it, we got used to it, but it's like forced on us by parents and movies and school and teachers and all of it, the entirety. Once you take time and not have any disturbance, no phones, no internet, nothing, just with yourself, no disturbance. If you can stay there for 3 days, it's amazing how much you can do. Just nothing else, like you're only with yourself, no books, nothing. Just stay there. Whatever the place you choose, like going to nice nature spot, like taking a cabin or whichever country you live in, and whatever the option you have, just do it. So hope this video helps you if you're a beginner or if you are into intermediate level of meditation and still struggling initially with your things. Hope this things clears you and gives you some inspiration, because do not quit. Initially it will be tough. If you're just a beginner, I would highly advise you to continue it. Even though it's tough, you still sit down, like watch your breathing. Teach yourself to focus on that one-pointedness. Slowly, your life will become better and better. It'll come, but that depends on how repressed your mind is and your emotions are. Then slowly, your awareness will begin. Once you see your own awareness, there is no turning back. You just saw something which is very, very powerful inside you, and that's like you'll become the leader for yourselves once you've seen your own awareness and the strength of it, because that's where you'll function from. It's like your mind is telling all these things, but you just on the side, like, it's like you're doing some work and the music is playing on the background, and like, you don't stop your work and like listen to music all the time. It's there playing. That's how the mind will be too. Is there doing his job, and you're focused on what you want to do. I hope this happens to everyone, because we all are equally equipped for this and equally eligible for this thing. Thank you so much. I really hope this video helps for the people who are into meditation, into this new beginning level of meditation, or like looking to do it, or like did it and like having a hard time. Because I wish that I had people who taught me. Because it'll cut short the time. It's like the learning curve will become sooner. Like you don't have to like wait for 1 year and teach all these things by your own experiences, and someone already there and like telling you, or like helping you, or just like talking about it. All right, thank you.